Hello.
There we go. There you go. You was anxious, huh?
Yes, I was. I forgot we had to do our little disclaimer.
Hey,
Yeah, how
girl.
you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
I've been good, I promise. So much has changed. I mean, my life is really transitioning, but I'm excited about it. I wish I could show you, but I have a grandson and he is 2 months old. He turned 2 months on September the 3rd.
Oh,
And
wow.
now his
Yes.
name is Osiris, but I call him Angelo because he has the exact same face as my baby Angel. So I said, this is the boy version of you, girl. She
I
keeps
know
saying,
that's right.
Mama, you can't do that. Okay, I'm gonna show you. So
You were just determined to give that baby a whole nother name. I
yes,
know that's right.
I
And
am.
he does look just like her.
Doesn't he? He has
Yes,
her
he
face.
does. He has her whole face. And he is so handsome. I cannot wait to meet him in person, girl. I cannot wait. And as you know, like she said, life has been lifing. So we missed you all a great deal. We missed doing our shows. And
Yes.
we have finally gotten to a point where we can jump back in the water and we coming back bigger and better. So look, don't
And
forget to go ahead.
I said, and stronger.
And stronger. That's right. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and hit a post notification button so that whenever we go live, you'll be notified. How about y'all do that? Come on, let's y'all can rock with some sisters for a little while, just a little while. Come on, rock with us.
And we're so excited that when she's talking about subscribing, because we are on many platforms now. So if you have YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and oh my gosh, it's more, and I can't remember. I think something Google. It's on everything.
Wherever podcast stream, you can find us.
Yes.
Wherever. And oh, look, and tonight's topic is loving who don't love you.
Yes. And why? Why do we
Mhm.
do that?
Why do we do that? Girl, why you do that? Do you do that?
Well, I
Have you
do.
done that?
I have. I have, honestly.
Yes. Oh,
If truth be told, I'm at a different space now that I realize I am important. And I think that's where you have to get in order for you to realize that you don't have to love somebody who doesn't love you back.
I think we've all been there because I
Mhm.
know, girl, I know I've been there a time or two. It ain't just been once, it ain't been twice. It's probably been three, four, 5 times. But
Yeah,
like you too, I'm in a different space, and you know, I've gotten to the point in life where I just can't settle. So that will be one reason. We talk about why. Sometimes we settle, right? Sometimes people just feel like, oh well, ain't nothing better coming along, or they're older and they just ready to settle down. So then they'll take the first thing that's coming. And then if that's on that end of the spectrum for me, right? um and then sometimes when you're younger, you don't know any better.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
And then also, which we're going to touch on this too, we're going to touch on a person's self esteem
yeah, that's
and
another.
then a need for approval.
Right,
So
right.
and that need from approval is generated from rejection,
Mm-hmm.
abandonment, and other
Mm-hmm.
things that have contributed to why we feel we are longing to be loved. And when we
Right.
are longing to be loved, we tend to gravitate and accept any type of love.
Exactly. And
Mm.
then there's also, you forgot one very important, I think this is what got me caught up more than one time. It's romanticizing
Oh,
about
yes.
the person. Like you meet somebody and you just start all in your head, start thinking about, making it a, a fairy
A
tale.
whole future.
Yeah, and it's like, and you overlook some things because you think, oh, I could work with him and I could do this, I
Yes,
could do that.
yes.
And so you turn it in your head something that it really isn't. And you often fall in love with the idea of what that person can be as opposed to who that person really is.
And also, let's say sometimes we even fall in love with the people around the
Mm.
person. So, say for example, you're a person who long for family. You fall
Mm-hmm.
in love with their family, and so therefore your love for them is deep because you don't want to lose the family. And so you have it's so much when you start, like you said, when you start to get that fairy tale ending. I'm going to have the picket fence. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
have a family. We're going to be a part of a large family and have cookouts like soul food and Sunday dinners and all of that. And we want that.
We
We
do.
want that.
We do. So would you like to share a time when you were in that space?
Oh, sure. I could probably share a couple, but let me start out when I was a teenager. And I remember that I wanted well, girl, I was one of those girls who already knew how my wedding was going to go, um, what kind of dress I wanted, what kind of songs I wanted to play, and
Right.
all of this stuff like this. So I remember when I was a teenager and I happened to go to a Catholic high school. And the irony is that, of course, at a Catholic high school, they, religion based, and they talk about, when you get out of school, you go to college, and everybody was talking about how you were going to either they were going to college with their high school sweethearts, or they were going to meet somebody in college and then get married and da 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 da. Da. So, and I was in my mind, I was like, wow, I thought you go to college so you could get this career and make all this money and all of
Mhm.
that. So then I found myself wanting, when I saw everybody else hooking up and having these relationships and all of this, I found myself wanting that. And so um you mentioned something very, very important. You said settling. So I remember, um I at first I really wasn't into the guy,
Mhm.
and then I was like, well, I think I can make it work. So then I started making all of the preparations for everything.
Mhm.
Warning
Mhm.
sign, everybody. Warning sign. Warning, warning, warning. If you're the only one that seems to be planning everything concerning the relationship, planning everything concerning the dates out. If, if you're the only one that gets upset when a date falls through, something's wrong with that picture.
Very,
Um,
very wrong.
but instead, we easily say, well, he just was busy. He just couldn't do it. And we want to make excuses. And then we find ourselves feeling sad and feeling like, but why? Why is he always too busy for me? Then you find ways to try to involve yourself in his busyness. So say for
Mm.
example, he said, well, I have practice. I do this, I do that. You find yourself saying, oh, I'm gonna surprise him at practice.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the
Girl.
place that he say he is doing some after school work and surprise him. Well, wait a minute. When does he surprise you?
Right.
You know, when does he say, okay, I see that no matter what I tell her, she's making the extra effort. So I want to show her that she's that important also. And so that's a key. You know, we tend to allow ourselves to feel the other person is more important. And at the time, we don't recognize it.
Correct.
But when our actions dictate that that person is more important or more valuable than us.
Right. So,
Because
and
we
you go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm glad you brought that up because that goes back to a person and how they perceive. Like some people get into these situations where it's one sided because a person is deceitful about how they feel. So they may lead you to believe, oh, I'm into you, I like you, whatever, whatever. And that be your green light to, go full steam ahead, to show up at the basketball court while he doing practice, to pop up at somebody's house unannounced because he's given that person has given you the impression that, yeah, I like you, we could kick it, we could do this, we could do that. But then you also have those that are honest about their intent and they say stuff like, well, I like you, we could be friends and we could hang out, but I don't foresee a future. And on that instance, we have to be accountable for our feelings. Like, and I've been in that situation before where I was talking to somebody and we talking, hanging out.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it was like, we cool and I just want us to be friends and this, that, and the third. And okay, but I guess what I learned in that situation was that even when you know a person's intent,
Hmm.
when you spend an exuberant amount of time with the person and you're sharing, right,
Hmm.
feelings are bound to come
Yep.
into play, right?
Yep.
So it's harder in that situation because you really can't get mad at this person when, they don't reciprocate the love that you're giving because they told you up front, I don't see us going anywhere other than here. So in that instance, what could a person do or what should a person do when up front the person is honest about their intent, but you still end up in that lopsided relationship?
Well, I want to say something about that because you know how our parents told us, well, I don't know. Well, yeah, I know. I know your mom told you, and I know my mom told me, action speaks louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, the person is not being honest. So going back to the person where you say the person is deceitful,
Mm-hmm.
if they're telling you, "Oh, baby, I love you, I'm into you, oh, you my world," da da da, but they never
They're
let
not
you into
showing.
their world. They never find time for you. How can you love somebody so much and you don't have a hunger and a thirst to spend not even 10 minutes with them? Like what to help me understand that. Now, and you don't even like on your lunch break or on your while you at work, baby, I just miss you so much, but I'm at work. You don't even have no sneak away time where you trying to show your love and affection and connection or nothing. You don't have any time. So I think when it comes to that, you need to look at actions. And then when you say the one where the person is honest, that is where you know somebody is being manipulative because most of the time those people who say, we can just kick it, we could just be your friend, that's when you can't necessarily look at their actions because what they're doing is they want to get what they can get from you. So they give you what you need to be hooked. So they spend time with you, but they remind you every time you start to slip closer and you start thinking, oh yeah, and then they see you and they recognize, oh wait a minute, she thinking this relationship again. Let me remind her, girl, we just friends, but they sexted you, but they spend all this time with you, but they ask you for money, but they treat you like you a girlfriend, but they keep making sure they remind you you're not.
Mhm.
Those are people who are playing with your emotions. They're being manipulative. So they like you, but I like to tell when I talk to my clients, it's
Mhm.
that wooed up kind of love. That wooed
Mhm.
up kind of love where she says, "Ooh, I like what you do to me until I find somebody else who can make me feel the way you make me feel." So
Mhm.
it's like that person is kind of still on the prowl. Like he likes you, but he knows you're not his cream of the crop type person. Like it might be something about you. Maybe you don't look like the girls he normally want. Maybe your
Mhm.
body not like the girls he normally like. But he like you because you're good people and you have a good personality, and he doesn't mind hanging out with you. And then because, like you said, you all are hanging out, then y'all start sexing. Then you buy him something, he buy you something or whatever. But at the same time, because when he know he want to make his break in the future, he want to make sure he reminding you, hey, 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 we're friends. So what you have to do in that situation is you have to make a quality decision. Am I ready to be in this relationship even though I know that he says we are just friends? So, how willing am I to allow myself to get my emotions all tied up, knowing that at any minute he could walk away because he told me he's just friends? So, it's no real remedy except for the fact that you have to guard your heart. You
That's
know,
right. You're
if
right.
you want now, you want to play big girl, or even guys, this happened to guys too. You want to play big man, you have to be willing to let yourself go with no strings attached, like they say, friends with benefits. You have to be
Mhm.
able to say, I'm comfortable with being a friend with benefits.
That's
I'm
right.
okay with that. um
Or you don't have to give up the cookie, right? You go, okay, we friends. So if we friends, we going it's gonna be a platonic type of friendship.
mhm.
That's one way you can protect yourself and guard your heart. Because look, we can hang out, every now and again, but ain't gonna be none of that, right?
Yep. Definitely, you could say that. But then, that kind of man who's really, or woman who's really trying to manipulate you, they have that thing of, well, I told you I like you. I just don't want a real serious relationship right now. And they then play on that. And then you, in your mind, because again, your ultimate goal. So you have to change, what is your goal? When somebody tell you what their goal is, you need to make sure your goal matches their goal. Not maybe I can change his mind. Maybe I could change her mind. Maybe if they see what kind of person I am, they're want to be in a relationship with me. Maybe if my sex is so good. Newsflash, newsflash, sex can't hold a man. Sex can't hold a woman. So let's go ahead and put that out there because
Well, I
as
don't
good
know
as
about
you
you,
think,
but
as good as you think you are,
there's
somebody
somebody
else
who better,
can be better.
baby.
So let's not just say, "Ooh, I'm so good. I know I'm a freak. I'm a this. I'm a that." Which I hope some of y'all are holding some of that freakness for your husbands or whatever. Because when you put it all out there, then then the people walk away. Then you like, "Oh, I gave them everything," and some things you just don't want to give everything away. um, so 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 let's just say that. But my thing is, when we're talking about the relationship, like you said, make your goals align. They say
Mm-hmm.
friends.
And we
What does it
friends.
mean to be a friend for you? So you have to make sure, even though what they mean as a friend, because they might mean we want to be friends, sex and friends.
Yeah. Nah.
Um, and you're like, like you said, you're my friend. We're friends. We're hanging out. We're spending
That's it.
time. We're talking, we're laughing, we're playing games. That's it. We're friends.
Hmm. And
So,
because we're only friends, I'm going to be seeing other people because we're just friends. Now,
correct.
if John on the right be like, I'm trying to move this forward, and you sitting on the left still talking about, I just want to be your friend, sweetie, you gonna be hurt when I be like, I can't see you more anymore because me and John moving forward. We're going into the next level. You want to stay on the friend, the homie friend level, so that's what we're gonna be, homie friend.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to even teach this deeper because right now we're talking about romantic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about loving somebody who doesn't love you, it
Mm-hmm.
could even be just regular friends. It could be
That's true
like
too.
my best friend who's my girlfriend and we're just best friends, or a guy who is just my best friend, or an associate or something, or
Mm-hmm.
a church member or whatever. Um, you could even put yourself out there and become vulnerable even in those type situations. And then you get hurt because you're the kind of ride and die friend that every time somebody needs you or needs something, you rise to the occasion. You change your plans. You make the mountains move and the earth's change directions or whatever you do
Yeah.
to
You're
be
that
that
friend
type of
that's
friend.
you're the friend that's always going that extra mile. Like when
Hmm.
their birthdays come, you be the first one to be like, "Oh, what we doing for your birthday?" And
Exactly.
da-da-da-da. But when your birthday come, you barely get a
A card
happy birthday. And the happy
or
birthday
a
could
happy
be
birthday.
dry. Yeah,
Hmm.
like you always thinking this, but you're right. But and it goes even further than that because our children have a tendency when we have that relationship, it's always going to be one sided or lopsided because especially if we raising spoiled children and they
Okay.
feeling entitled, you
Hmm. That.
know that and I say that because I've seen parents who will go the extra mile for their child, but when they ask their child to do something, it's always, I can't do it today, I can't do it tomorrow. And of course, these are older children. When you parenting after the age of 18, or maybe your children live, somewhere else, they're in their own place, but every time something's going on, they calling you and they asking you, and you run into their rescue. But you call them and say, can you come cut my grass? And it's, oh, I can't do it. Or does that fit the mold?
No, so that's all true. So my thing with that is that in all of these things, we have to set appropriate boundaries
That's right.
and we need
That's
to search ourselves because a person can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And that's
and that's
um,
right.
romantic relationships, friendships,
Children,
children, family, whoever. They can
that's right.
only treat you the way you allow them to treat them. So,
That's
in
right.
order for us to really be able to fix this problem or understand this problem, we have to understand what's the root.
Right. So, and,
What
and,
is
and that's where you have to look inside, and that's where self-reflection comes in, because that's what it took for me, right?
Mm-hmm,
I had to sit back and think, why, right? um and I think a lot of mine when I was younger was a fear of being alone,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
um and then I had some unresolved trauma. So
Exactly.
I formed some emotional attachments because it to some degree I needed to feel needed. So
Yes,
I was that person in
exactly.
the relationship that did everything because it fed that need for me to feel needed. So once I realized what I had going on, I was then able to just be like, you know what? I, I deserve better. I want more. And people will feed off of that, right? Because
Mm-hmm,
genuinely, I'm a good person. I have
mm-hmm,
a heart of gold. I will give you the shirt off my back,
mm-hmm.
right? So if I'm in something with you and this is supposed to be us, I'm going to go even harder. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
the person knew that. They knew, okay, she gonna do, you know. So, but it was more of my need to feel, I needed to be needed, right?
Mhm.
So that's, it's kind of hard to explain it, but I
I
understood it.
I know exactly what you're talking about because my next question is so that the people could understand
Hmm.
your need to be needed. What did it make you feel like when you felt needed?
It made me feel loved.
Right. So the reality of it is that your need to be needed, and when people used you and not used you in a negative way, because we will get hurt when we get used in a negative way, but when
Hmm.
people needed your services and used your services and asked you to do this and asked you to do that and was like, oh, you were playing my birthday party, oh yeah, girl, I got you, what you want to do, da da da, and you felt like you were like the star, that validated you, that gave
Hmm.
you some sense of worth because your self-esteem was low, you didn't feel good about who you were, so the approval of those people that you were giving your all to made you feel validated, made you feel valid, valuable. And so it started making you see your self-worth attached to others, not
Hmm.
independent of others, but attached to others.
Hmm.
So what is important is for our self-worth to be
Where it needs to be.
right, for it to be based on us.
Right. It
Because
has to.
I see myself. How
Mm.
do I value myself? Not what do they feel about me? Oh, if he tell me I'm cute, oh my God. Okay, I'm cute. I'm cute.
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
girl, let me tell you, guess what? I went to the mall, girl, and these three boys told me I was cute. Oh girl, and I had to put on the extra walk. Now, did you not know you were cute when you got dressed and looked in that mirror and went out?
Oh,
Or was it when these three people told you how cute you were? Now
correct.
you're
Gotcha.
feeling now you're feeling, "Oh, I got something to offer the world." So
Mm.
that's what happens. I found myself for some of the same reasons. I even remember, let me tell you, even professionally,
Hmm.
this thing can hurt you because I found myself wanting to be the super employee.
Mm.
And so I'll never forget. I got an evaluation and I went home crying and I told Daddy Steve, I said, Daddy Steve, I they gave me, so let's say, because I don't remember the numbers right now. So
Hmm.
let's say a 5 was like outstanding, perfect, best employee in the world. And let's say a 4 was um exceptional employee that goes above and beyond her job description, and a 3 was employee who does her expected job
Satisfactory.
description.
It was satisfactory. A three is satisfactory.
Well, no, this one wasn't satisfactory, but it wasn't like exceptional. Like it,
Right.
it would say something like goes above and beyond and knows their work at times or something like that, right?
Hmm.
So okay, so you're right. I maybe needed more numbers. But anyway,
Hmm.
my example is this 3. They gave me this 3, which was I do a good job, I'm satisfactory, and I go above and beyond my expectations for my job description sometimes.
Hmm.
I was crying. And I still had a high rating because let's say the highest your point value was like 100. I
Hmm.
might have had like a 89 or
Right.
something like that. I wasn't happy. I wanted that 100, girl.
I know that's right.
So I started talking about all the stuff I was doing. And one
Hmm.
of the biggest um eye-opening things he said to me was, "This job is not a relationship." He was like, "They let me see your evaluation." So I showed it to him. He said, You see these things right here on this paper?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "This is all they care about. They do not care that you went to work at 7 o'clock and took somebody to school. They didn't ask you to do that. They did not care that you went to work on a Sunday when you were off and cooked dinner for all the residents and had a party and played cards. They do not care." So he and so all my little stuff I was telling him that I did so extra, he kept going to the paper and was like, "Where's that listed?"
Yeah, where's yeah.
And
Hmm.
so that even helped me even professionally, because professionally I was trying to let my works just make me be the employee that's loved, the employee that's the best employee, the employee that everybody calls Chantel name because Chantel is doing so good. And so, it trickles. Your need to be needed, your need to be recognized, your need to be loved trickles over to every aspect of your life.
Hmm.
And so I promise I was devastated. But when he broke that down to me, it made me realize. And so when you talk about going back to romantic relationships, when people tell you something, take out your paper and treat it like a job description. When they say, I I just want to be your friend, you put on your paper friendship. I don't want any romantic relationship with you. You put on your paper no romance. So then when they bring you roses, you look at the roses and they're red. You check them.
Lord.
You say, "Wait, these are red roses. Red equals love. Didn't you mean to buy me yellow?" You know,
Hmm.
so you have to make sure that you don't get confused, because although their actions start, and even like everybody was praising me, "Oh, Chantel, you know how to cook. Oh, Chantel, girl, look at you." They were praising me, but when they gave me that evaluation,
Cooking skills was nowhere in it.
it was not there. So it's so
They wouldn't
it
have got no more of my food, that's for sure.
so
But
so it
no.
is with
Oh.
so that's the same thing though with a relationship. When you go back and you say, "But we did this and we did this, but I told you we were only friends." They're going
Right.
back to the job description. They're going back to the friendship description, the relationship
Mhm.
description. They're saying, "But we're only friends." But we sex. Oh yes, we can sex according to me. We can sex in this friendship. So,
'Cause I want to be a friend with benefit. I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting a little freaked out. I'm freaking myself out. I'm sorry to jump off this topic,
oh
but
no, you're fine.
my ring light is on, but the my back here, if you notice, it keeps getting darker and lighter and darker and
Yeah,
lighter,
yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out why one minute is brighter and the next minute is darker, and my light is the same color, so it's starting to. Mm.
But I thought you said your ring light was
Yeah, but
doing something.
it's not. I'm not. See how I just got darker?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ring light's still on. It's not. It's not. It's still where it's supposed to be. So I don't know. I just had to
I
bring
don't
that
know.
out because I'm quite sure I've been looking around and doing this
Maybe,
stuff.
well, maybe it's your movement or something. I don't know.
Oh, some paranormal activities.
No, we're
Because
not
look, I
gonna
rebuke
not
you
gonna
in the
claim
name
any.
of Jesus.
No,
Huh?
no, no, no
We rebuke,
paranormal.
we rebuke all of that.
Yeah, in Jesus'
Woo!
name,
In
okay?
Jesus' name. Come on now.
I thought your ring light just was going off and on, off and on.
No, but it is not. It's been on. It's but and I'm looking into the camera and I'm like the wall behind me keep getting a little darker and then it get lighter, they get darker, but the
Yeah.
light, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to what we said. I
That's
digress.
okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's life.
Yes.
We look, things happen. We have to go ahead and address it.
Ooh.
So yeah, so I just don't know, so I just wanted to share that because that was devastating to me. And so it is when you talk about friendships, like
Mm-hmm.
you have friendships, like what does it mean? My friendships, if my best friend liked the guy,
Mm-hmm.
I would never talk to him, or even if he said he was interested in me,
Yeah.
because that's my code
Right.
of friendship.
Right. Same here.
If you're we're together and we both get hungry, if I have $10, five is yours.
Mm-hmm.
It is no way I am going to. So we would, instead of going to Chick-fil-A, we would have to go to McDonald's and get those bundles and drink some water so we both could eat.
Or better yet, let's take the $10 to go to the grocery store. We buy some stuff, and I'm gonna cook us a meal.
Okay, we could do that too, but if I don't feel like that, we're gonna have a bundle and some water.
Mhm.
And then, but I would never go to Chick-fil-A, order that one meal, and then ask you, you want some? So
Mm.
see, but somebody else might feel like, well, what's wrong with that?
Mm. Right then and there, the friendship is over.
So so you, but see, did you have guidelines to your friendship? Or did you just put yourself out there? So see, we treat other people the way we want to be treated,
There you
but
go.
we don't make them treat us the way we deserve to be treated.
But see, that just goes back to the saying, and I'm trying to remember because my mom used to tell it to me. You don't do things for people to expect something in return. If you do it from your heart. If it comes back, it does. If it does, it doesn't. Right? So for me, if we're out and I buy you something to eat, I'm not expecting you to buy me something to eat.
Likewise, no.
Right? But if the situation should come and tables are turned for whatever purpose, I had to buy you food that time. If situations turn, the tables turn, if I'm in that position, and like you said, you'd be like, you want something? I can't really necessarily get mad with you because I didn't do what I did expecting something in return.
No, I get it. No, no, no. I'm just saying, when we're even talking about the levels of friendships,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
right?
Friendships.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't say, oh, if I buy you some McDonald's, girl, next time we go out, you got to buy me some. I
Right.
wouldn't do that either. But at the
But
same time, you would think that if you went out and you happen to not have money, you would hope that they
hmm
would say, well, girl, last time we split your money, okay, let's split mine. You would hope that they would do that. But we tend to get our feelings hurt because people don't think the way we think. And that's where I was going with that. We
okay.
can't get mad at people because people don't think the way we think.
Right.
And what happens is, when we don't show people or teach people how they need to treat us, we just always giving,
Yeah.
throwing ourselves, throwing our money and stuff like that. And then when we fall down and everybody looking at us like, oh, you don't have money today, and we get our feelings get hurt because nobody came to our rescue.
Mm,
One, they're not used to coming to your rescue. It seems odd and peculiar. And instead of them, and a lot of times when people consider you to be the strong friend or the friend that has everything, they sometimes rather live in a fantasy of, well, maybe they just don't want to eat today. you know they they don't want to deal with the fact that she doesn't have money. Oh my God.
Mm,
Like, what? And so they may ask you, they may get something and everybody order and they realize you didn't get something. And then they say, you want some? You want some of this? Or whatever. And our feelings, if we're true to ourselves, our feelings would be hurt. And we wouldn't even say nothing. We'd just be
right.
there. We'd be like, no, I'm okay. And then we go home and cry. Why? Why didn't you say, yes, I want something? Better yet, do you have an extra $10? Because I'm hungry. Why don't we say?
But see, my thing would be like you said, if depending on the friendship or what level, you're right. You should have been able to say, "Girl, look, I need some food. I'm hungry." It just goes. It probably just goes back to that person and their level of comfortability with their friends, right? Because if it's mine, look, I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just assuming. And even if you don't, and when you get your food, be like, "Girl, give me some of them fries."
Right, right. But I'm just trying to say how it's even with friendships.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're, even friendships are not um
we
reciprocal. They're not
reciprocal.
reciprocal. They're not.
I've had friendships like that
Yeah,
weren't reciprocal. It was all transactional basically.
right.
What
From
I
you.
yeah, what I can do for them, what I could do for them.
Right.
But girl, look, so
And see, and that's a level of love too when we talk about love, because I need to make it clear to people that it's not just romantic love. You know,
that's right.
why do we love people who don't love us? Why do we invest in people who don't invest in us? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about if why do we invest in people with even our time and
Time. Yeah.
our um our words of encouragement and all, when nobody ever can put anything back into us. If we just crying and we call somebody and say, can you come to my house? But they never can come. Or
Mm,
can I talk to you? I'm sorry, I'm busy. What you need? I just need to talk to you. But when you could be at work and they're crying and upset, your whole emotions get upset. You tell your boss, I'm sorry, I gotta go outside, take a break. Cause now you trying to calm this person back. You were at work. But
mhm.
when on the flip side, when so I'm just talking about any need you have. It don't even
Right,
have to be about money. Why do we not make people show up for us?
right, right,
And the showing up indicates the level of importance, the level of love that a person has. So it's not about money.
no,
It's
it's
about
never right. It's
it's
never about
about
money.
the being there.
Right. Because money is cheap, right? And a
Hmm.
lot of people don't understand that. I had a girlfriend who was in this relationship, and she would always talk about the things that her friend would buy her or make comments about um, the money. And I almost want to say I feel bad for her,
Hmm.
right? Because money is cheap. Don't Money is the easiest thing. It has no personal connection to it. It's easy to come by and drop off a couple of $100 and
Yeah.
go on about their business. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. That's the easy thing. That don't require much effort, right? I could come by and throw $200-300 at you and then come back and any other time I want and do whatever. And then as long as I'm dropping off
That
dollars and
sounds like prostitution. That sound like that sounds like to me.
girl, hold your tongue.
You sound like
Hold your tongue.
that sounds like a call girl or a what is the other thing they call it? But anyway, you're being paid for your service.
but
That's
but but,
not
but
a
right.
relationship.
But I said that to say money is cheap because that's the least, right? Time Put time into me. Put your effort. Give me time and effort, right? I would rather have you spend 2 hours with me than you throw $200 at me.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you spend 5, 6 hours a day or a whole entire day with me than to come by and drop off some dollars and then I'll see you when I can see you. And it's okay because to me, but to each his own. To me, that is not okay. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I got my own money. I can go out and buy whatever it is that I want when I want.
Yeah. So guess what? But that's again the value that she puts on a relationship. So to her, the significance of a relationship is money. And
Yeah, I
so
think
that's why we have to be like, what do you want? So before we leave this show, because I see our time is winding up in about 15 minutes. Before we leave, I want to say to people, when we're talking about loving people who don't love us back, or why do we love people who don't love us back? What is it that you want out of relationships, period?
right, but let me before you do that, let me interject something because
Oh, I wasn't ending.
oh, I'm talking on this candy. Excuse me, but I think for our audience and our listeners, if you are in a space where you're in that situation where you feel like you're giving love and it's not being reciprocated, you have to, I beg of you, because I've done it. Dr. Sean has done it. You have to reflect. You have to figure out why you're there. And there are a lot of reasons. There's emotional attachment. Like Dr. Sean said, you have a low self esteem, right? Unresolved childhood issues or traumas like I had, romanticizing, and it could be some type of a codependency, right? Guilt or obligation. Maybe they did some stuff for you, and you feel obligated to stay with them for whatever purposes. There are a million one reasons, but you have to get somewhere and you have to do some self reflection. And like Dr. Sean, you got to figure out what it is you want. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to figure out what you want. And that's exactly, and I'm glad she did that, because I was gonna say that you have to figure out what you want, but you also have to figure out why. Why do you allow yourself to be in that space? And so, as Coach Passion was saying, all of these things, take it not for granted that you lived life and experience what you experience, because that is what makes you. Our life experience is what makes us. Our life experiences are what cause us to make the decisions that we make, and accept the relationships that we accept. So as she said, you have to self-reflect. The reason we have to self-reflect is we have to be able to recognize that time out for going in your closet or going in your bedroom playing this music and crying and being woe is me and everybody mistreat me and nobody loves me and nobody this. But we you have to understand why you even are drawn to those type of relationships, and why people can even pinpoint you and find you.
Mm,
How you say, "Oh my God, no matter what I try to do, I see
mm,
the same man over and over and over."
over and over again.
So
Mm,
what are you putting off? As in, people can feel your energy. People can feel your aura. So what is it that they see on you that you need to deal with? And what is it that you have on you that's attracted like a magnet to get hooked back up in those same type of relationships and friendships and things like that? Um, and all of it stems back to the list that we just gave you.
mm-hmm.
So I would recommend that you do some journaling. If you're not a person who can journal or who can even self reflect, I would recommend that you call a coach or you call a counselor so that they can help you work through those things, so they can help you see you. Because many times we don't see us. When I
Mm,
was in that stage of my life, I didn't see me. I thought I was perfect. I thought everything I was doing was perfect, and I felt that everybody was evil when they mistreated me. And I was, crying and wanting to ask God, why you let these people do this to me? Why I'm such a good person? Why they do this? And I was crying and wanting to know why. But it was something inside of me that I needed to heal in order for me not to need them, going to that codependency, because I needed them to need me in order for me to feel whole.
mm,
And
mm,
so the most important thing for you is to understand that whenever you're in any kind of relationship, it should be it shouldn't be a half and a half have to equal one. Two broken pieces equal one. And even when it comes to friendship, if all your friends are broke down, disgusted, and hurt, y'all all need to do some group therapy. Uh, y'all can't.
oh,
The point of it is y'all can't pull each other out.
nope.
So everybody's just in this bubble, but nobody's moving because there's so much unresolved issues. So y'all need some group therapy or something. But you need to find out what's happening, and that way you can move. And when you move, then you say, how was I there?
Mm-hmm.
you know
Oh
and,
Lord.
and today, like, you look at yourself, you're like,
Mm, honey.
and if somebody does something crazy, you're like,
Mm,
and you speak your mind. A lot
mm,
of things, when we stay in these kind of relationships, most of the time we're not vocal. We don't say we're hurt. We don't say what we didn't like. We don't share those emotions, and that's why people continue to do it, because we want to be approved.
yeah, until some people get to a point that where
That
they
breaks the point.
hold it, and then that boiling point come, and we both Scorpios, so we have that tendency. We're like, okay, and keep moving. Okay, and keep moving until you can't say okay, and then you blow up, and now they looking at you like you crazy.
Exactly. Because when you blow up like that, it's you bring up stuff from
Years ago.
yeah, you bring up stuff from 1976. You'll be like, and you remember when?
And they be like, dude, I wasn't even with you then. What is you talking about? You got me confused.
You go all the way back,
Always. You
and you
talk
bring
about
up,
stuff that happened when you were 7 years old.
yeah.
All
So
of it. Just come on out.
everything, and it's just like a big volcano, that's erupting. And
Yeah.
so that's another reason, because then you lose friends, or you lose the connections and the relationships, because now everybody think you crazy.
You crazy. Yeah.
Like, I can't deal with her. Something wrong with her. She just too explosive. Now I don't even know where that came from. I just said ABCDEFG, and she went off. I mean, she lost her mind. And you and and to you, you're like, I'm perfectly fine because you've been doing this for 10 years. I let you do this for 10 years. And 10 years and one day, I'm about to read you like you ain't never
Oh,
been read
it's
before.
never been read before. And that's why I'm laughing because, you know, th- it's a very serious thing. But when you've gone through it and you come out on the other side, you can
Yes,
look back at it now and be like, "Oh my gosh!" But and just and giving thanks that God brought you through it. You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
And you can look back and laugh on it. That's
Yeah, this is a good place.
that's a good
I
place.
tell you, when you see yourself and you see where you were, I even, it's funny. It's funny, Coach Passion, but when I look at some pictures of us when we were younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at us now,
Mm-hmm.
I say, thank you, God, because I don't even think sometimes, even in you don't even know that some of your sadness shows through on
Mm,
some of your pictures.
it does. You know, you know how they say the eyes are the windows of the soul?
Yes, yes, yes,
You
yes, yes.
can always look at somebody in a
I
picture, and if you can see their eyes, it looks like people that are sad on the inside. It looks like they don't have no
joy in their
no
eyes.
joy or no vitality or no it's like some you can tell just and then you can look at people and you can look in their eyes and you can see the joy and you can see
Mhm.
the whatever that is. So you can definitely look in the picture and look at somebody's the facial expression, look at their eyes, and you can tell if that person is hurting on the inside. Because so
Right.
the eyes are the windows to the soul, that's for sure.
So
Even
guess
when you see people like in person, when you walk up to somebody like a friend, a coworker, right? And you could look at them and you could have a conversation and they could be trying to fake it up. And you could just look at them and be like, okay, you want to tell me what's really going on? Because
right.
although you're standing here, hee hee ha ha, I can look at you and clearly see because your eyes look weak, that there's something wrong with you. So what's wrong? Let's talk about it. Let's pray about it. Let's do what we do, you know. But you can
Exactly.
tell.
You can tell. You really can tell. So, you know what? So then that answered the question when I said people is your aura. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
all they're doing is tapping into your eyes
Yeah.
and looking at, although you smiling, they can see the crying.
Mm-hmm. It's a sadness, like, and if
Mhm.
you have children, you, I guess that's how you know too. Your child ever come home and they be trying to act like everything is all right. You could look at them and say, okay, no, no, what happened today? What happened in school?
Exactly.
What? Because you know the energy be off, the look, and I have three girls, and every time something was going on with them, they would come home with a little funky little attitude, and they I,
Giving you the fucking attitude. You didn't do it.
I didn't know it. It did, and then I have to stop and look and be like, okay, something's going on, and what's going on? Now, yet, don't lie to me. Don't tell me nothing's going on. I can clearly see that there's something wrong with you. You're my child. I know when something is wrong with you,
Hmm, hmm.
so you can really tell.
Yeah, you can tell. So,
Oh, this has been such a good conversation.
yes, yes. I want us to make some declarations before we get off this phone today. I mean, well, we're not on the phone, we on a podcast.
We, yeah. You know what I'm reminded of just now that came to mind. You ever watch Empire?
Yes.
With remember that one season when Cookie had finally had enough and they were standing in this airplane hangar and Lucia was trying to get Cookie to jump on the airplane and
Oh,
fly
yeah,
away
yeah,
with
yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
And she stood there, she's like, I gotta put me first, Lucius. I gotta put me first.
Yep. And it comes a time when we got to put ourselves first.
You gotta put you first.
Put us first. And I think that's the whole essence of why we want to do this show. We want to let you know that you are valuable. You
Mhm.
have to put you first.
That's right.
You cannot love someone more than they love you. Love is an action word.
Yes, it is.
It's an action word. We can say I love you. I mean, it's so. Nowadays, I love you is so easy to say. I love you. Everybody's saying I love you. They saying I'm love you. If you go to church, you say you I love you. Everything is I love you. 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 Everybody say I love you. But love is an action word. We even close out text messages with little hearts. We do this.
Hmm.
Everything is about love. But I need you to take hold that love is an action word. And so the first thing I want you to do is take action and love yourself. Love yourself.
That's
So
right.
so we're gonna declare make some declarations today.
Declare and decree. That's right.
That's right. And so the first declaration we're gonna make is that I am loved. I need you to understand that you're loved already. You're already loved. You don't need somebody else to show you that you're loved. You're loved. Because why? You're going to love yourself.
Can you see that?
I cannot.
Okay. That's right.
Just try A for effort. A for effort.
That's right.
Wait, how you do A? I don't know. A for effort. But so I am loved. And I know that you're like, yeah, right. It's easy to just say that. I need you to keep telling yourself until you believe it.
Every day.
But somebody loves you. Somebody loves you. Maybe not that particular guy. Maybe he doesn't love you the way he was supposed to. Maybe your toxic friend doesn't love you the way you love it. They should love you. But guess what? Somebody loves you. And the first person that you need to start with loving you needs to be yourself. You
Hmm.
need to start with loving yourself. So if you could tell yourself, I am loved, and then if you're sitting there in the back of your mind saying, nobody loves me. Tell yourself, I love me.
Hmm.
I love me. And I'm going to prove to myself today how much I love me because I'm beginning to take me back. I'm
Mm.
taking me back. And as she did that little recap of a scene from Empire, putting yourself first. So I deserve to choose me. That's the next thing. I deserve to choose me. So you need to choose yourself. Choose you.
And I
Another,
hope
oh, go ahead.
and I hope y'all are writing them down as Dr. Sean is giving them to you, so that stick it on your wall, stick it on the window, in the mirror in your bathroom, so that you can see these affirmations and repeat them to yourself every day.
Hmm. And I am enough.
Mm.
That's one of my favorite affirmations, one of my favorite declarations. Because when I was trying to get to this point of my journey, I used to say, and I know, come on, men, women, whatever, what do they have that I don't have? Especially if the person who told you you were going to be their friend, they did all of these things and had you confused about what type of relationship it was. And then when they finally found the person they wanted to be with, they just dropped you. So I need you to pick yourself back up and stop comparing yourself to others. Stop trying to, if I do this and I do this, if I do this and I do this, none of that matters. You need to know that I am enough now because you are enough. The person that is divinely directed for you, the person who truly will love you for you, you are enough. You don't want somebody else who doesn't want to love you for you because then you have to be fake. You can't be yourself. And you're going to be miserable if you do all these things to attract Mr. Wrong. You're going to be miserable because
Mhm.
eventually the real you has to come out. So you are enough. The last thing I want to remind you on top of that is that no one can make you feel good about yourself. And I'm taking that from the Good Morning Gorgeous song of Mary J. Blige. Nobody can make you feel good about you. You are the only person who can look in that mirror and tell yourself you're gorgeous. You are the only person who can look in that mirror and tell yourself that you're handsome. Only you. because no matter what somebody else say, I remember a time when people used to tell me all the time that I was pretty and I couldn't receive it. I'd be like, "Ugh, why they say that? What do they want? What's the motive? I don't have
Mhm.
anything. Why are you saying that?" So until you believe that you are gorgeous, you are handsome, you are enough, you are valuable, all of those things and all these those other things I told you, nobody else can tell you. So with that being said, when you get a handle on all of those things, nobody will get your love more than they give it to you because you'll be the first person to love you more. And when they come at you wrong, you'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I think I love myself better than that. I don't need you.
Mhm.
I don't need you. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, no, not moved. I take myself. I get massages. I get my nails done. I eat dinner. I spend time with me, writing, meditating, watching my favorite movies, laughing. So that's what I need you to do. Choose you.
But right now, I'm gonna choose the me because I'm hungry. I've been eating this candy. I
I
gotta choose
know
the
you've been snacking on. You know, you
I'm
know,
hungry.
all of our all of our fans and followers. Y'all know y'all saw her eating that candy the whole time. I wanted to ask her, can you send something down to Georgia, whatever it is that you have in that corner, because it sure look good.
I'm
But
gonna
since
smack
she wait, since she busts herself out, mm, okay, what kind of candy is that?
sweet tarts,
Oh Lord, I do not like sweet tarts. You can keep that.
girl.
If it was Mentos though, I was gonna be like, look, I have a problem with the fact that you were eating Mentos the whole time.
Girl, no, I've been over here tearing these sweet tarts up. Hmm. I know they like, oh, she's so ghetto. Okay, just for a little bit, just for a minute, little minute. But we love y'all.
We love you.
And we thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Same
Yes.
time, same station. And what we talking about in 2 weeks?
How to heal. Wait. Oh, how to heal from the hurt when you are constantly around the person who hurt you.
Now you know that's a good one right there. That's
Hmm.
a good one. So again, good night. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit your post notifications so you can get notified whenever we go live. And we out.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.